so glad you're both here. How are you?
Great.
We have so much going on. You guys always have something going on too. When do you not have something going on? How many events a day happen at the Dietert Center? That's the question of the day.
Oh gosh, some days there's 20 things.
Yes, I mean between classes and Meals on Wheels happens every weekday, so
yeah,
that's
and
big.
And the Friendship Cafe every day.
Yeah.
And I drove in the other day and I said, "What is happening here today? There's the parking lot's packed."
That's a good feeling, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
What is happening at the Dietert Center on a daily basis? I mean, even if you don't know, that's something, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think it was a matter of balance that we were doing. So we had a lot of people coming in to do some of our free classes, but it's so nice seeing the people that come every day.
Yeah.
Every day, or they come 3 days a week for yoga, or chair yoga, or the art classes, or today's Wednesday, so today's going to be a big day with our card recyclers and our quilters.
Bridge comes multiple times a week.
Yeah, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. So yeah,
they're serious.
Do you play bridge?
I don't.
Do you even understand it?
I'm scared to take it on. I walk by there's like 30 people in a room and they're all dead serious, and I'm just like, one day I will learn how to play bridge.
Do you know how to play it?
Well, I attempted it. I had 3 sweet ladies friends of mine, and when I had retired from the Y, they said, "Hey, come join us and we'll teach you how to play." I played for about a year, and I'd come home after they came, and my husband would go, "How'd you do?" I said, "I don't know. I really don't know. I think my name was at the top of the list. I did win one time, but I don't really know how I did it."
Right.
But it's a hard game. It's definitely a hard game.
I'm kind of amazed by it. Like I've never understood it. We used to run the bridge, columns in the papers, back in the day, and then we'd have all the north, south, west. Like I have no idea what that means.
Yeah.
Well, and they talk about, keeping your mind sharp, and we have all kinds of different things, whether it's, because cognitive decline is something that happens to all of us, not just people with dementia.
It happened to me like 4 times already this morning. I can mark it.
Exactly.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, so my grandmother did crossword puzzles until into her 90s. So those bridge players are staying sharp. There's no question about that.
Absolutely. It is important to stay. And I have a 102-year-old grandmother who likes to watch TV and read. So, it is important to stay sharp. I always attribute her sharpness to the fact that she played golf pretty much every day until she was about 93. And then she slowed down a little bit.
That's awesome.
But it's so important to keep engaged, and we have so many different opportunities between activities. And if people don't want to do the activities, they can come in and they can volunteer. They can come help in the dining room. Greeting people, they can be at the front desk, they can help with Meals on Wheels. Right now we need some volunteers in our kitchen, which is really it's really a neat place, because you really truly get to see the other side of providing these meals in our community.
Right.
And we prepare 400 meals a day in our kitchen, and that staff can always use some extra help. And we have one volunteer who's been helping us in there, and she came in yesterday afternoon. I said, "Are you still here?" She said, "Yeah." She said, "Bill, and I was washing dishes today. I don't know that I like that, but I learned something new. I didn't know I knew how to do."
Did you? What does a typical day at the Dietert Center look like for people? Are there people that come in there all day, or how does that work exactly?
There are. We have a few people who come in the morning. They get dropped off by the art bus, and they hang out there all day. They might work on a puzzle. They might read a book. They do some of the different activities that they go in to do. They may play the shuffle the deck card game, which is just everybody gets there and they figure out what games they want to play. And
the kitchen staff gets there at 6, but the rest of us start trickling in after 8.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so we have several people who come and hang out for several hours, and it's their ability to get out of the house and come into an environment that's a positive environment, and give them some activities to do.
One of my favorite events you guys put on was that bowls event.
Yeah.
That was where the wood turners make the bowls, and then you guys have the soup and everything. That was a really fun event.
Well, we're doing it again in February.
I got outbid on that deal.
Yeah, you gotta stay competitive.
I was I saw a couple that I liked, and I was like, well, I'm gonna jump in here, and then I was like, I'll get that one. And I got outbid for it. So I guess I was good that I bid it up, but I was like, kind of mad that I couldn't spend my money. I should have just written you a check. What is the primary funding mechanism? How do you guys? It's obviously grants a little bit, and how do you keep things afloat and keep lights turned on?
Well, part of our funding source right now for our Meals on Wheels and our Dining Friendship Cafe is through ACOG, is our AAA.
The Alamo Area Council of Government, right?
Mm-hmm. And we have a contract with that, and that helps us reimburse us for a portion of those meals that we deliver. But the rest of it truly is our community support, because if we might only get paid maybe half of what the true cost of it is through ACOG, and our community steps up and helps us provide the rest of the funds to help us provide those meals. 67,000 meals a year to our Meals on Wheels program, and over 21,000 in our Friendship Cafe.
Wow.
Yeah, and so in some of our clients, they help pay for those meals too. They Meals on Wheels clients, they want to donate, they donate back, and it's a great opportunity for anybody and everybody to help provide a meal for a senior.
Yeah.
There are some, we do grants, and we're grateful for the ongoing steadfast support of those organizations. And then there's some corporations that have been supporting us in our, we have a couple people will be like, why don't y'all have a gala? Why don't you do this?
Right.
Well, we've got a golf tournament that we have every year that's coming up on September 7th.
Okay.
And that's called Around to Remember. And we've got lots of corporate sponsors that help us with that. And it supports our dementia care advocates programs, which are expanding greatly because we offer the unique programs.
Right.
They don't, there's not a day respite care, and there aren't classes that are available for people to learn how to communicate with people with dementia and stuff like that. So those programs are supported by individual contributions as well, but we do have a fundraiser that specifically supports that, and sponsorships are still available.
Sponsorships are still available.
Absolutely.
That's September 7th. What does the sponsorship look like for that particular event? Give me a ballpark here.
Well, you can you can do a memorial or an honorarium for someone impacted by dementia for $100. You can sponsor a whole for $150, up to holes in one or $500.
I'm going to do a whole.
Cool.
I'm going to do a whole. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Awesome.
Write me down for that. For
Okay.
$150.
Would you like me to invoice you for that?
Yes,
sir?
please. Please do. Please invoice me for that.
It is a great.
I'm going to say this. I've got dementia is in my life right now, and it's tough. I'm watching my mother deal with it with my stepfather. My father's doing it with my stepmother, and it's difficult. It's difficult to watch.
Well, I highly recommend that you come take one of our classes so that you understand what's happening, because it is my dad had dementia, and it's 8 to 10 years of caring for him, and I wish I had known then what I know now.
Yeah.
Because I was very fortunate with my dad, but it would have made some parts of that so much easier. Knowledge is power. If you know it, you can support them, that you want them to feel support, to know that you understand what they're going through.
Right.
And we have a really great class that we're doing is walk-in dementia shoes. And it is an opportunity for you to come in and put on some goggles and some headphones, and to just literally walk for 20 minutes in dementia shoes, so you understand a little bit of what they're experiencing. And but coming to some of our classes is great, and even if with your mom or your dad, it's good to come and be a supporter of them dealing with their loved one,
Right.
and helping them get the skills that they need, because it is a journey. It is a long journey of going through that whole process.
Well, and it's interesting though for a lot of people, and you see this too, that they've moved here, and maybe their parents have moved here, and then they follow, or the parents follow them, and they come to you for resources. I mean, that's kind of how it works. That's what
we get those calls all the time.
All the time, yeah.
My mother-in-law's moving in with me. She's got this going on. What do I do?
Yeah.
And so we kind of we'll start looking at accessibility, and do you need free medical equipment lending? Do you guys need Meals on Wheels? What resources? As someone who, my parents are still very active in their 80s, but I feel like I've got more tools in my toolbox ready for when the decline starts.
Right.
But yeah, we get that a lot. We maintain a list of caregivers who have been background checked in our community services department. So we just kind of, if we don't have the answers, we find the answers. And that's just part of the whole gamut of things going on at the Dietert Center.
Yeah, I mean, that's just part. I mean, that's such it's such a big part for families too, because the care of your loved ones is, you have these stages in your life where your parents care for you, and then you kind of go on your own, and then your parents need that help, And for a lot of parents, a lot of older Americans, that's really hard to accept.
And I think nowadays, so many of those young the children are working. They're working full-time jobs, and they need that extra guidance of help and know what's in the community. And one neat thing about Dietert is we're for our initial mission was for seniors.
Yeah.
But we do help out other kids. I talked to a lady at the expo this last weekend about that she said, I just have to tell you a story. She said, my son was in a really bad car accident. He was 14 years old. And it was over a year of non-weight bearing. She said, I borrowed so much equipment from y'all as we were going through that whole transition. And she said, I just want people to know that it was neat seeing that it was for a senior thing, but it was also helping out my 14-year-old.
Yeah.
So there's opportunities. We have a lot of opportunities to help everyone in our community one way or the other. If someone had a senior 60 years old has had surgery and they're going to be kind of out of it for about 6 weeks while they're recovering, we can do Meals on Wheels for 6 weeks. It doesn't have to be forever. It can be a short-term thing, and then some of them that are eligible for more, then they finally go, you know what, I really like having this, because it's a nice opportunity for someone to come to their house and check on them.
Right. I mean, that's the, like we said, Meals on Wheels. One of the great stories we had was that, just in the last week, this kind of connection and staying connected. When we had the big storm, you guys still delivered 200 and some odd meals, but you were also able to kind of check on people too, who were like, especially if you were like in the Ingram area. Holy smokes, there was quite a bit.
Yeah, Brenda delivered Center Point that day.
Did you?
That was. I was the last one coming back in, and they were all worried about me. I'm going, my phone wouldn't work in Center Point. My maps weren't working. I couldn't find
where I was going.
And that's when you get to the door, and they're like, wow, can't believe you're out in this.
Yeah, right.
But we had a handful of people call us and say, don't try to get to our house today. But out of the rest of them that we tried, we only had 7 meals that we couldn't get to. And when that happens,
pretty incredible.
Yeah, we call them and we make sure they're okay. And then everyone, a couple times a year, and we hope they exercise restraint and save it for an emergency. But they have what we call a shelf-stable meal for weather emergencies like that.
What services do you want to provide but you can't provide yet? There's my big question for you.
Oh, you stumped us.
Let's see here. I think I want to provide classes and opportunities for those younger than 60, because we kind of look at for Meals on Wheels, you've got to be 60 or above, but we want to really get those our friends that are in their 40s to start coming. Start coming and engaging in this opportunity to participate, because you're going to be in those 60s at some point.
Right.
And the more you feel comfortable about it now, don't wait till you're 70 to come, because it's like a new kid going to a new school.
Exactly.
And they walk in and they don't know where to put how to go through the lunch line, and it's so hard for them. So start early. Come do these classes. Come get engaged with this wonderful facility. I call it a magical place. Come get involved in it while you are young, with the volunteerism or bring your parent. Bring your parent to lunch and let them feel comfortable, and therefore they're going to feel comfortable. So I really like to see more younger people coming and participating, because those seniors, it's good for them too.
Right.
It's good for them. They love seeing when someone comes in with their kids, and I just engaging. We're just multi-generational. I'd like to see more multi-generational.
I think one of the things people should remember is that what a good place to start on the trail, on the river trail.
Absolutely.
Park at the Dietert Center, walk in, say hello, look at the opportunities that are there, or go on the river trail and maybe take a class. I mean, if you're in your 40s, I mean, go learn how to dance with Clifton Pfeiffer.
Yeah, I mean, we have people who come off the river trail to use our bathroom, and we welcome them in our water fountain.
Yeah.
And they say, "What is this place?" And they leave with a catalog, and maybe they stay for lunch. Who knows? You know.
Right.
We're having pork chops today. So.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, we it's interesting to how many people are there every day, and it is such a part of their lives. And then on the other end of the spectrum, the people who walk in off the river trail and say, "What is this place?" And then they leave, and some of them are visiting from out of town. And they're like, "This is really cool.
Yeah.
You have this.
Right.
I want to come back." So
Yeah.
I think it does. A lot of places. My mother's always complaining about where she lives, and she's like, "We don't even have a senior center anymore." And I have to remind her, "Well, you have a very nice clubhouse where you live in your over 55 development." And she's, "I know, but it's not the same. There should be a senior center." So we have one of those in Kerrville and a symphony orchestra. Don't rub it in, So, yeah. But I mean, it is an important thing that we have this facility here to be an anchor in our community. Another one of these key community assets that we have.
Well, and if people come in and they say, "Well, do you have a class on Texas Hold'em?" And once a year we actually do end up having a class on that.
Right.
But if someone comes in and says, "Well, I want to learn how knitting or something like that,"
Right.
we'll take it into consideration. If we can find a teacher, we'll offer a class on
Offer a
it. Like
class on it.
silversmithing is something that we've offered that are unique.
You have a silversmithing class, really?
In the spring we did. I think we're taking a semester off this fall,
Okay.
but yeah, it's interesting. And so the new catalog is at the printer right now.
Okay.
And it's available online already under the Club Ed tab on our website, and you can register for stuff. But that's where you find out about the travel and the day trips. Like the one coming up in December is my favorite, where we go to the Riverwalk and see the lights on
nice.
the Riverwalk and eat dinner, and no one has to drive to San Antonio. And I am 52 years old, and
Right.
I don't want to drive to San Antonio to see the lights.
No.
But I
don't
want to
either.
go.
Right. I want to go, and I want someone to drive me back.
Yeah, I want to get on a bus with 40 of my friends.
I want to get on a comfortable bus with a bathroom.
Exactly.
Then I can go. So.
And that trip sells out. We do that trip twice.
I was going to say that trip sells out fast.
I bet it
if
does. I bet it
you're
does.
interested in doing that, you better sign up soon.
Yeah.
So.
And that's a great point, too, because have you tried to park down there lately?
Yeah, exactly.
It's $25 to park down there now if you're not careful. So, yeah, I mean, and it's crowded down there sometimes too. So it's nice to go down there and not have to worry about that kind of stuff.
I mean, day trips to the casino. We do international trips. So yeah, like I say, the catalog hits all of the services that we offer.
There was two ladies yesterday that came in and got their little packet. They're going to Ireland. And so they went through Colette, through their trip, through us, through Colette. And they're headed out to Ireland.
Right.
So it's a great opportunity for them to do. And I had a lady the other day, they went up to, I mean, it's just crazy hearing all the different things. I want to get on that bus.
Yeah.
I want to go to the yoga class. I walk by and I'm thinking, they look so relaxed.
They're so relaxed. They feel so good.
And our yoga teacher's been there for decades.
Yeah.
I mean, he's part of the family.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's the rest of the year look like for you guys? What's the next? Well, obviously the golf tournament on September 7th. That's what's the name of it again? The
Round to
Remember. Round to Remember.
Did you do that on purpose? Marcus?
I did.
Forget
I'm
the round to remember.
I did.
We have, well, in addition to our classes that are just ongoing, we have special things like we always celebrate our veterans. When you were mentioning the Veterans Week, we have a luncheon where we celebrate our veterans. And, for me, it's ongoing raising awareness of everything that's going on so that people can take advantage of it. And when Brenda was talking about volunteers, we have 31,000 volunteer hours that it takes to make it all happen. So for me personally, always raising awareness so that people can either take advantage of the programs, support the programs, or be a part of the programs as a volunteer.
All right, we have we're over time. But what's the best part of the Dietert Center? Go, Brenda.
The best part is you walk in the door and you're in a happy place. It's happiness all over the place. If you're feeling bad or need some just to pick you up, come on in, and we will show you around and we'll welcome you in.
It's a family.
Best part of the Dietert Center for you?
The family.
The family.
And it's the volunteers and just everybody. I've met so many amazing people, from the colonel to the nurse to the, amazing people.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a breakfast show out there one day. What do you think about that?
That'd be great.
That'd be
fun?
great.
Yeah.
We make good quiche. And when I say we, I mean our kitchen staff.
We'll do it right there because there's a great view of the river and things like that.
That'd be
fun.
beautiful. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it very much. The Dietert Center's here. We're gonna throw on Nikki Carlson. I see her. She's waiting here. Come on, Nikki. Get over here.